Thank you, Susan. And because we know Derek is ruthless, we're going to be on time because I know at 3 o'clock we're out of here, right?
Absolutely.
And at 2:45 we have to do another round of discussion. But in terms of what Glenn I would like to accomplish in the next 12 minutes, Glenn? 12 minutes, because it seems like a long time ago that we started and we had that high-level provincial goal, which is by the year 2012, land and water managers will understand what's required to protect stream health. And you are the land and water managers. That's the bottom line, right? It's the decisions everybody here makes. So as you can see, what we've tried to do then is take that high-level language, go down to the ground, and talk about, as we have for the last hour and a half or so, about how you get there. And now we just like to come back up a little bit because, the tools don't really mean that much unless you have a vision of what you want to accomplish. And so in this next 10 minutes, that's all we got left. I'm just two.
I'm waiting to hear what we're going to do next.
Yeah, so Mike. We want to know just in terms of what you're doing. It's too bad how people had to leave because they had to touch a plane. But, I'm going to put a few on the spot and sort of say, okay, one, either tell us what you've actually done in the way of implementing something, starting to create this picture of where we want to go with the community, or what you'd like to do. And, there's a contingent from Campbell River, so maybe what's making Campbell River would like to tell us about, one of your projects that you're really proud of, and that, that kind of embodies green infrastructure principles. It's resulting in a more livable community. So, who from Campbell River is going to talk to that? Is it going to be you, or is it going to be?
It's going to be.
Who is it going to be? Okay, come on. What are you really proud of? Because we keep hearing about Campbell River. You want to put a stand up so you can really project?
One of the things, I don't know whether we're at the point where we're totally proud of it yet.
Where you want to go, right?
We've had what we call alternative development standards developed over the last, couple years, and had 2 pilot projects in town where we looked at reducing right-of-way widths, requiring or encouraging the use of bioswales and filtration swales, techniques like that. The one problem that we've run into a stumbling block with is it never got fully implemented in bylaw. It was passed as supported by council, but to actually get it into our design standards and development standards hasn't happened yet. So we're now going back through a review of these pilot projects, finding out some of the things that were proposed weren't quite working out with utility companies on being able to fit their requirements within the reduced right-of-ways, as well as some residential concerns with reduced street widths, particularly in the wintertime when snowplows come and do one path. With a 6-meter road, you're not left with a lot to work with. But it is a work in progress, and I think for green communities, it's something down the road we'll be proud of.
And just, I'm going to start Glenn next. But just while you get your thoughts together, Glenn, one of the things that we'll feature in this next, in section number 3 is there's a document just being released by the province in the last couple weeks called a Guide to Green Choices. So, think ahead. Glenn, what can you tell us about Comox, what you've done or what you want to do?
Oh, I think coming to Comox about 10 years ago, we were fortunate, or I was fortunate, that we had gone through quite an exhaustive process with the public, with the development of the Beckton Estates development. It involved geotechnical assessment of the area. It involved point source controls with the residential houses going, with root drains going to rock pits. Perimeter drains still went to the municipal system, which I felt was a good compromise because we now are still confident that the homes themselves are protected and that they have positive drainage. Detention ponds that not only reduce the peak development runoff, but are aesthetically an enhancement to the area. Exfiltration galleries, again, for the multifamily sites to reduce their impact. Oil separators. So I felt it was a very comprehensive approach. Again, we also used reduced street widths, which have proven to be somewhat of a heartburn for us because, again, people have their own idea of what the service level should be, and it's still a lot of pushback from the public in that regard. They kind of want their environmental to be improved, but they also wish to have the service levels that they were accustomed to with the bigger streets and stuff like that. But all in all, I felt good example of what can be done. And it's a good compromise that we can all live with.
Len, you want to try and draw on your experience of what you've been seeing in the applications for grants and the kind of changes and approaches seen, and maybe just give one or two examples of what you've rewarded as being examples of good behavior, innovation.